What it do? What it do? It's your boy Cali coming from that one stop shop. Here to hit you with another banger. You dig? I shouldn't have to tell y'all. Y'all should already know what to do. But just in case, it don't cost y'all a dime. Go ahead, do me a favor. Hit your boy with that like button. You dig? And then at the end of the video, leave a comment. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. And make sure you turn on your notifications and hit the all bell. Because we're going to keep on dropping these bangers to you. You dig? We're going to further touch on today more on the Big U subject. You know, it's the hot topic, the hot subject. So we're going to touch on that more today. But we're going to break down what's actually in his indictments. And we're going to break down some of what they haven't fully came out yet. What is in Brick Baby, it's going to be in Brick Baby's indictments and Loose Cannon's indictments. Okay, so we're going to start off with Brick Baby. Brick Baby, in his indictment, it don't say nothing so far, nothing about the AK case that he has. In his case, it got something to do with a robbery. That's how they is tying them to Big U. I guess they saying Big U was setting up robberies, having robberies, and Brick Baby had something to do with one of them. But as I did my homework a little bit more, and just been looking into things today, they so-called say that Big U got a videotape on that boy Brick Baby robbing somebody, and he been extorting Brick Baby, holding that over his head. That's how he got that boy Brick Baby in his pocket the way he do. Allegedly, that's what they say, you know. But yeah, so that's with Brick Baby. But until his indictment, full indictment come out and we see what he's fully charged with, we ain't gonna know. But I do know they got him for a robbery. Now Loose Cannon, in his paperwork, I don't know. I know they got him for talking on No Jumper. He was running his mouth, and it literally in Big U's indictment, it says about him running his mouth on No Jumper. And once again, that's what I keep on telling you cats out here. Y'all want to keep on bringing the streets into the internet thinking that it can't be no repercussions, and it's repercussions. Y'all don't understand. This internet, just because it's on the internet, don't make it not the real world. Like, y'all bringing real street politics to these internets like these people's not watching. And it's a dirty game y'all playing. Y'all know, y'all pretty much dry snitching. Y'all using the internet to do it. Y'all dry snitching. That's a dirty, nasty, snaky, doodle type of game y'all playing. You know? Y'all snitching on the internet. And the ones that's not snitching on the internet, that's self-snitching on themselves by bringing it to the internet, that's self-inflicted wounds on yourself. I can't say nothing about that. But they got Loose Cannon's whole interview he done, how he talked about how he was Big U's right-hand man and how they ran plays where Big U was sending him to go rob an artist that they said that it was Rick Ross and Meek Mills. They used those two as two of the people that they did it to, so-called, and said that Big U was sending them to go rob them. Then he'll come in to play superhero, get their stuff back, and they'll give him 40,000. He'll get the money back, and they'll give him 20,000 of the 40,000 he got back. And instead of paying his Loose Cannon and them, he'll pocket the money like this on some gangster, like, what y'all gonna do, you know? So eventually the muscles got tired of being punked by Big U, you know? So that's why they end up having their problem. But it was multiple occasions that Loose Cannon talked about on No Jumper that he done for Big U doing this. And in the indictment, that's the exact reason why they said that they got Loose Cannon and how they was able to attach him to the RICO was because of that interview on the internet on No Jumper that he did. But it's okay though. Oh yeah, Loose. I know that pretty little thing of yours. I know she I know she gonna need a shoulder to cry on, and I know she gonna need somebody to vent to. Tell her, come my way. I got her. You know what I mean? Tell that little pretty little thing I got her. You did. Because you ain't gonna be able to do nothing for a minute. Don't trip though. I got you, homie. I'm gonna put a wet 40 on your books. I'm not even that type of guy. I'm one of those. I'm one of those good guys. I'm a team player. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it warm while you gone and make sure it's good. And I'm gonna put a wet 40 on your books, my guy. I got you. Don't trip. I'm gonna put a wet 40 and keep that wet for you. You dig? I'm just saying. You can't do nothing with it, man. Especially you in the feds. You don't get no visits. You're going to the feds. You don't get that visit like that in the feds, my guy. It's not the state. So there's no Cochico visits in the feds, my guy. Yeah, so you might as well go ahead and let me, and I keep a wet 40 on you. I got you. You know what I mean? But on real, let's get to Big U and his indictment charges. Big U. All right, so we gonna listen to this little where he's talking about some of the charges he's indicted with, and then we gonna talk about it.
Yeah, they talked a lot about a number of people in this press conference, but the main focus was on a man named Eugene Henley. The feds say he committed a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the murder of a rapper in 2021. But this same man, Eugene Henley...
Okay, so the trafficking comes from, like I said, the female he used to mess with, and he used to take her to different states, and she had so-called homegirls that was 304s, and they'll let them do their thing, but she then got caught, and she's on wiretaps, and she been caught, so I think she's one, like I said, I think she's one of the ones telling and talking. Because, yeah, they been presented the evidence on her and wiretaps of her talking, because they trying to make her seem like pretty much like she was the madam, you know. So, but that was Big U's little thing he was messing with on the side, you know. And so that's where the trafficking come in at. They hitting them for human trafficking. And then the fraud comes in at because he was getting PPP loans up under Unique a record label, and he didn't qualify to get them. And they had this task force come together, which one of them was the IRS, and they said that he got over like 220,000 PPP loans to Unique Records that he didn't qualify for, and then they was extorting basketball players, some football players, but mostly basketball players, and then he was extorting weed dispensaries. He was having his people go in there and rob them, take everything out, weed, money, robbing the customers, everything, and told them if they didn't pay for protection, it was going to happen again. He was pretty much on some mafia, old school mafia type of stuff, you know what I mean? And he was doing it to all the dispensaries that was set up in the 6-0s. And they have text messages and him threatening some of the dispensary guys where if they didn't give him what he wanted, then it was gonna happen. And he was asking for like $3,000 a week, or he'll just randomly call him, tell him he need $3,000, he needs to get a gift for somebody, and if they didn't do it, they knew what was gonna happen. So he was just on some bullying, extorting stuff. So it's just crazy though. Uh, they saying all this about that man, and and the last one was they said that he laid down the little football player that was his son's best friend in college. His son that plays for the Chargers. All right, so his son's friend got laid down in college, and they saying Big U. They trying to say Big U allegedly did it because the mom came out on the recording talking to Wack, and she didn't. I don't think she knew she was being recorded, was saying that Big U's DNA was found up under her son's fingernails, and they was going to arrest Big U by the end of the month, either by the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. But it was going to be arrest made, and so the thing with that is, first of all, let me say he alleged. This is all alleged. Everything that is being talked about is alleged. None of these guys has been convicted of none of these crimes. This is all alleged. But it's saying that Big U allegedly did what he did to that little boy because he dissed him in a rap track, in a rap song. And so it just makes me get to thinking, like, if you was able to do that to him over a rap song, all the stuff they been alleging you did that you didn't have involved to do with Nipsey, just kind of making me say, now I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at you a little different, my guy. But once again, not my politics. That's 6-0 neighborhood politics, But it's available to the media, so we're allowed to give our opinion on it, But the one thing Big U got going for him is because they ruled that they couldn't use the evidence in the nails with his DNA up on the nails because he had multiple of his DNAs up under his nails. And so they had to rule it out where they couldn't use it, but they didn't. They said that they can't rule Big U out because his DNA was still up under the nails. So that's one thing his lawyer will be able to play with and have, action at, because they wasn't able to say, yeah, it was only Big U's DNA found up under there and 100%, and they can't say that. But that was just some of the charges that, Big U has been hit with. There's more charges. It's over 120 pages of paperwork in the indictment, and we're gonna keep on going through them, and I'm gonna hit you with more videos, and especially once they release Brick Baby and Loose Cannon's indictment paperwork, we gonna go through that and see everything what they got them on. But y'all tell me y'all opinion. What y'all think about Big U? Y'all think he's gonna touch the streets again, or y'all think he's washed? What y'all think? Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's your boy Cali coming from the One Stop Shop. Salute.